oh, woo.
Yes. Yeah, Sailor's Warbird's ridiculous. So, like, you want a movement game back, that's a way to do it. But, again, if you can't get a hold of it, and I know a lot of people can't, it was a grand prize ship. Not a ton of these went out, and high scalper prices, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Don't go chasing, $200 ships. That's not the purpose of anything here.
Especially if the meta changes.
Yeah.
Don't buy a hood. My general rule of thumb is don't buy a ship for $40 unless you really, really want it.
Yeah, that's why you buy
anything over 40 is pushing it.
That's why you buy a faction pack with 8 ships.
That would be the Federation one, because I think none of the others technically come with 8.
Okay, you're right. The Romulan's got like 6.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed it didn't have like 2 science vessels in there and 2 scimitars. Mind you, there is no other cannon scimitar. But maybe like an unfinished prototype would have been cool, like that cost like half the points and had like no shields or something.
You can't.
I don't know. You can't cloak. maybe like the damage. Oh, that would have been crazy. What if they had as the second one? It's like the scimitar, and then one which represented the scimitar after the Enterprise had like crashed into it.
That could have been fun.
So it had like no shields, no cloak, but it had like a super high attack value to represent like it only had the Thaleron weapon. Just as almost like a novelty card. It would have probably confused some newer players, but like a novelty like damaged scimitar card would be interesting.
Could have been.
Kind of like how the ISS Defiant represents the Defiant when it was first made, before all the fixes were made to it. So it's like, it can burn out its engines, everything like that. How it's like, I love how they did that. How it's like, oh, this represents the same ship in a different period of time. But I get how it's not, because it's a parallel world one. But like, you can still kind of pretend it. Like if you were playing a thematic game, which was like the first time the Defiant was used, it would be better to use the ISS Defiant card than the USS Defiant or Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's I guess our buyer's guide.
Yeah.
Also, note for the buyer's guide, you can buy multiple copies of the Hakona because almost everything in it is generic, which is something I wish more packs did, was give you a ton of generic stuff, so you could justify paying, another $15, $30 for another copy and not be left with a bunch of unique cards. See, when the X-Wing game releases a quote-unquote fix pack, they'll give you a bunch of extra cards that you literally cannot fit on that ship, so you can upgrade all the other ships you have of the same class. Which is kind of what the Federation pack did, where they gave you 2 copies of each ship.
Yeah.
But it's like,
start.
It would have been nice if the Tal Shiar pack came with, 4 copies of Cloak. Or the To Boldly Go Federation pack came with 2 copies of each Defiant upgrade. Yeah. So I didn't have to buy 2 Defiant, two copies of that, just to upgrade my Valiant.
I get it. I understand.
Yeah. I'd like to see more fix packs. But for now, that's not really how Star Trek Attack Wing rolls, which is fine. It's okay that the 2 games are different. I'm very glad we never got a second edition that requires a mobile app and there's no SP written on the... The 2 games took very different directions, and I am glad that they took different directions.
Yeah. All right, shall we get to our top 5?
Right, the moment you've all been waiting for, maybe, is our top 5 tech cards for the Romulan faction. Yes. So, I guess we'll start with number 5 and work our way all the way up to number 1.
That seems like a good way to go.
If I had my cards, I would say or if I had my dice, we could do a battle stations roll off, but to congratulate your channel's new name, you can go first.
Okay. Well, my number 5 is Disguise Protocol. This is a Romulan drone ship upgrade. And very simple. When defending, place 3 time tokens on this card. The attacking ship rolls 2 less dice. 2 less attack dice. And it's not... I'm not going to say it's this amazing card, but I think it's a fun card. And it's definitely a thematic card. And I enjoy it for what it is. We kind of alluded to, I like the prototype. I like what it brings. I like that you can put this on either of the drone ships, and it creates this mystique of, you're going to have a tough time shooting me. I'm a little hidden. Am I here? Am I over there? Maybe I was over here the whole time. Don't know. So.
Oh, okay.
That's my number 5.
I misread it, so I was very confused until the very end there.
Yes, the attacking ship, not you.
Well, yeah, I thought it was when you attack
No.
the enemy. I was like, wait, that doesn't line up. But then, no, yeah.
No, yeah, it's a win defending.
It's like the opposite of getting your defense dice. It's almost... if I could find a way to put this onto the USS Enterprise from the 2017... that would be fun. Maybe 7 of 9 from Voyager might work. She lets you copy tech abilities.
Perhaps,
yes. I'd have to double check her card, and that's a lot of text to read.
Yes.
Okay. My number 5, my 5th favorite tech, is one that's probably near the top for most people, but I almost never use it because it doesn't really match my personal play style, is Interphase Generator.
I get it. I mean, hey, I'm glad it's on your list. Just sorry it's down that low.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's like I don't use counterattack and Interphase Generator. The reason I don't put I feel like it would be easier for me to describe why I don't like it than to describe why I do.
Sure.
Because everyone knows why you like it. It literally is... It's the next best thing to cheat death. But to me, it's... like, I'm usually running it on a weak ship. Something like a science vessel. And it's like... well, do I want to take an upgrade that gives me 1 or 2 evades essentially every turn? Or do I want an upgrade which is going to essentially be the equivalent of 1 or 2 evades once? So if you're using like a small ship that has high cloak, Interphase Generator will save your butt. But if I can like boost my defense dice by 2, or put Hood Riker on my ship and like boost my defense dice and add defensive quality, if I can get a battle stations even beside a like Romulan scout ship, then it's going to be more useful than an Interphase Generator. Now, this is something I do include, I think, on my Scimitar builds, because I really, really, really don't want to lose my Scimitar.
Right.
If you lose your Scimitar and you're playing by standard like point rules, where it's like, you calculate how many points that have been thrown away. If you lose your Scimitar, you've lost the game.
Typically, yeah.
All right. But yeah, it's pretty... unless you're a new player, you already know why this is a good card. It saves your butt. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why it was made to be ship unique. And perhaps, I think the thing that truly makes Interphase Generator good, the thing that's even better than saving your ship from 1 attack, is the fact that if you have multiple ships and the enemy has to choose which one to shoot, they're going to shoot the one with Interphase Generator last because they don't want to waste their attack. It is a deterrent card. It says, do you really want to waste your attack on me when you could actually do damage to an enemy? It's a great deterrent card. And it's one that the enemy is going to have to deal with eventually. To sort of quote you, it forces them to make a choice. Or choices.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And it's just tricky that way. So.
Yeah, it's the difficult choice card. All right, what is your number 2?
4?
Oh, right, number 4.
My number 4 is Muon Feedback Wave.
I was wondering if someone was going to pick that.
Yeah, so this can only go on a Romulan science vessel, but as we talked earlier in the, things the faction brings, a science vessel is a viable option. Very simple. Action, discard this card, place a Muon token beside a ship at range 1. So what does a Muon token do? Well, it stays on a ship until it's removed. During the activation phase, after a ship moves, it takes damage to its hull, not shield's hull, equal to the number of its current maneuver minus 1. The type of maneuver doesn't matter, just the number. After a ship performs a green or a white maneuver, it can spend an action to get rid of the token. Well, okay, so you're thinking, range 1 only. How do you really make this work? Well, you put it on low captain skill. You run up, essentially you run up, you tag an opponent's ship, and you hope that they moved quick. Because if they did even a 4, they're taking 3 damage.
Woohoo!
There are tricks here. I'm not saying it's certainly not the best. You're hoping you can make this work. But if it does, when it does, it is very annoying to come in and just slap damage on somebody. More so, the threat of this being put on your ship, you got to sit there and go, oh, maybe I don't want to move that fast. Maybe that 3 that I really want to do, what if they stick the Muon token on me? Maybe I should only do a 2. Maybe I should just do a 1. And if you can put any kind of range extender on your ship, now this is a range 1 to 2, or even a range 1 to 3 if you can really get there. That opens up a lot more possibilities. So, again, not the most powerful of techs, but a fun card that I wanted to highlight because of some of these tricky shenanigans that the Romulans have.
You know what this pairs well with? I'm trying to find the card. It's somewhere here. There's a Romulan card which lets your ship activate first. Oh, never mind. I got it backwards. There's Borcha, which makes you activate last. Never mind. Yeah. Bad combo. But yeah, throw him on a what is it? A low captain skill ship. The other part of this card that I like, I never really thought of the damage because I guess I never thought it through how much damage this could do, and it acting as a deterrent. But again, Romulans, I guess, are really themed around deterrence, which is kind of great. But the fact that once it's applied to an enemy ship, it's sort of like throwing a critical on them that they have to deal with. It's either deal with this critical, let it chew through your action economy, let it affect your movements, or you play with a handicap for the rest of the game. And if they were trying to like close the distance to attack like a big ship, now they're having to either give up their actions or deal with all this nasty stuff. Like, yeah, it not only screws them over this turn, it screws them over at least one turn over. If they choose not to be majorly screwed over on the next turn, they're going to be a little bit screwed over on the next turn, and then majorly screwed over on another turn. Yeah. It's like a credit card.
Use those responsibly. All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is one of my all-time favorite cards, so much that I had to buy multiple copies. I love this one. Self-destruct sequence.
Ooh. Okay.
It's not even the only self-destruct card in the Romulan faction. The self-destruct sequence is a 3-point tech. Action! Destroy your ship and target every ship within range 1 of your ship. Each target ship suffers 1 damage. No ship may be equipped with more than 1 self-destruct sequence upgrade. I love this for many reasons. Like thematic play, in friendly or just in like friendly games. If you know you're gonna die, it's fun to blow up your own ship, and then it's like, you can't even say that you were the one that killed me. I killed me.
Mm-hmm.
In if you're dealing with a like a Klingon swarm, fly it into the swarm and then blow yourself up. I made a build once. This was on Tabletop Simulator, so I was able to actually I didn't actually have to pay all the money, real world money, to get as many copies of this. But I made a build that was, I think, 9 Romulan science vessels, each equipped with self-destruct sequence, and I flew them across the board like torpedoes. They flew in a swarm, and then one of them would shoot out really fast because they've got a really nice dial, fly right up to the enemies, and then detonate itself. And I won that battle by just basically launching what amounted to 9 dice torpedo attacks against my enemies. Area of attack torpedoes, because it's 6 dice, it's 6 points for the science vessel, 3 points for the self-destruct sequence, and then kaboom. The other reason I like this card, and the original reason I actually bought it, was because the Cardassian Dreadnought torpedo didn't come with any sort of suicide attack, even though that's what the torpedo was. It was a torpedo that was designed to detonate itself over top of a planet, and for some reason there was no weapon in that pack that let the ship blow itself up. So I actually went on to buy this specific card, equip it to a dreadnought, and in a thematic battle blew up my entire dreadnought just to do 1 damage to an enemy. But it was like, well, it has to. That's what it is. It's a missile. It needs to blow itself up and do damage to someone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I hear that.
Self-destruct. There are better self-destruct cards, but this is the one that isn't unique and you can throw on pretty much any ship. So that's my 4th place.
Okay. I like self-destruct stuff. It's fun. You can add in cheat death, Tasha Yar, I stab at thee, do some really fun
Grissom, Esteban, things that combo with ship death. You can throw Wesley on there just to get rid of Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
I made a build for a friend, and it involved a Galaxy class that you were designed to self-destruct, and it had Wesley on it because he had a beef with that whole thing. But yes, let's see. What is your 3rd favorite Romulan pick?
That is where Interface Generator slots in for me.
Okay, now with your many years' wisdom, please tell me why Interface is the best.
No, I mean, hey, it's 3rd favorite. That doesn't mean it's the best. It's a good card. It's a deterrent. It's basically, okay, when I'm up against Interface Generator, I have to weigh how much do I actually want to use in my attacking of this ship. I know I have to get rid of the Interface Generator eventually, but do I want to use every bit of upgrade to make that happen? Because if I only sneak in, say it's on a scimitar, if I sneak in 2 or 3 damage, they're probably not likely to use their Interface Generator. But if I take that to 4 or 5, then they're going to use Interface Generator. So there's this delicate balancing act. And Interface Generator becomes this card. It's a looming threat, right? It's an attack cancellation. And attack cancellation is powerful. But it is a choice that has to be made where you have to weigh as the player using it, is this attack the one that I want to cancel? Is this the one that's going to kill me? But if I wait too long, then I don't even get to use it, because if I only have 1 hole left, I'm out of options. I'm dead anyways. So, But I do like Interface in combination with anything that lets you heal, because then you're canceling taking the damage and then getting healed, and you're fine. You've essentially suffered nothing. So, Interface.
What if we paired Interface with that Mirror Universe card, which lets you pull a card back that you've discarded?
Yeah, it could work. That gets expensive with time tokens, but
Yeah, but
I
it's
mean, look, I played in an era where people used to run double Riemann Warbirds with double interface each, and
oof.
right, and that was just a pain.
There's a reason we ban things like adaptive shield matrix or no shield adaptation. It's
And
at the
it's
end of the
not
day
that
we
it
don't
was.
like really bad
It's not that that build
things.
was unkillable. It's just trying to put in 4 meaningful attacks and then more while you've got a Riemann Warbird shooting back at you. That's what's tough. So,
Hmm.
anyways, I mean, interface was better before it was one per ship, of course. And now that it is, it's still a really good tech. It's a great tool for Romulans to have. But it's not the be all and end all of what they've got.
Excuse me. Yep.
All
I
right,
knew
you're number
interface
3.
was going to be on your list. I figured it might be on number 1 for a lot of people, but makes me excited. I'm pretty sure I know what your top 2 are going to be. This brings it to, I guess, my number 3,
Yes.
the middle ground for best Romulan tech for me is advanced cloaking, the old one.
Okay. I did consider
load it
this.
So this is the one where it's 4 points. Actually, both the old and the new, they're the same. They're exactly the same. They've just got it written differently. When you attack, if there isn't a auxiliary power token beside your ship, just throw an auxiliary power token down, and you don't flip your token. You don't lose your cloak. Lets you stay cloaked. To me, this was superior to the advanced cloaking that the Klingons had, where they had to disable, because that ate up your action and economy. This is not as good as like the modern like Blood Oath cloaking cards. They've got some great cloaking cards in there.
Yeah.
Namely, you just recloak. The advantage that advanced cloaking has over, let's say, Dahar Master, which just lets you cloak for free, is they still can't target lock you. Because you get to just keep cloaked. So you never fully show where you are, so you never get locked on. If you've got some way to remove auxiliary power tokens, then you're good. Now, Romulans have like 1 or 2 ways to remove auxiliary power tokens, and I don't think they're all that good. So really, you're going to be flying green. But with Sensor Echoes and your Valdors and D7s, flying green isn't going to hurt you that much.
No.
Like the Talon, flying green, you're good. And I mean, you can always just take that auxiliary power token, or if push comes to shove, lose your cloak, but you'll still have this card for later. So like, it's just, I love it. It's just keeps me cloaked. People I play with get frustrated when I run it. What more can I say?
No, it's a very viable option. I do like it. I didn't like it enough to put it on my list because I figured you would have it on there, and I wanted to highlight some weird stuff too. So that's good.
As long as you don't have that weird stasis field card, not the good stasis field, but the one with Garrick on it.
Oh no,
that thing that's horrible.
No.
I don't know why it exists.
No. All right.
I can't even remember its name. That's how bad of a card it was.
I really struggled with the choice here between 1 and 2, and I think it's just down to a lack of data. But my number 2 is the new Romulan cloaking device, because bank echoes are amazing. Adding cloak to a ship's action bar, any action bar you want, is amazing. It's pricey to go off faction, but it's there. It can be done. And it's cool. I really like what this is going to do. It's going to enable Romulans to to echo and to have a lot of unpredictability in their maneuverings, their play styles. This is gonna change a lot of stuff up. So, projections of what it's going to do is great. I am confident enough to put it at my number 2 slot. And I will see it is definitely in contention to move up to number 1.
I'm happy to say that is also my number 2. I think the only thing that holds it back is getting... You're going to need so many copies of it if you want it to do the absolute best. I would say you'd want at least 4 copies of this, but the pack only comes with 2.
At least it comes with 2.
Back. It's also one of the cheapest ways to just get Cloak on any ship, because it used to be that the cheapest way to get a cloaking ability on a ship was to pay like 9 points for, I think, Kazon masking circuitry, and that didn't even have good action economy.
No.
Yeah, because it was a 4-point card, and then it was 4 points for a non-Kazon ship, and then it was +1 for a faction penalty, getting used to 9. And now you can do it for 6 points. No, 5 points.
5, yeah.
Yeah, for 5 points you can give pretty much any ship the ability to cloak. Hey, you want to cloak a Borg cube? Throw on your what is it? Borg shield matrix. Now you're rolling 7 green dice with a Borg cube. I mean, it's really only like 4 points stronger than a Daenerys at that point, but at least you got the high attack dice.
I think
it's the absurdity of it. I love my absurdity.
And the nice
but
thing
there's also
is
just
you can bring to rule, and once, I mean, she is unique, but she does let you bring a Romulan cloaking device for free.
Yeah, essentially the ability, instead of paying 5 points, you're now paying 3, and you get a bonus power.
Yeah,
because she costs 2 points and +1 for faction penalty.
Yeah. So it's cheaper.
Really, it comes down to that movement, though. I think that movement is going to make the Romulans a force to be reckoned with. Even if you try to throw that onto Klingon builds, it's going to force your... To me, a lot hinges on whether or not people are going to be willing to pay the 5 points to throw that into... to upgrade each of their Klingon ships in a swarm. Because if a... But in the end, that also reduces the viability of a swarm. So this card may have... The future will tell us this. But this card may have fixed the Klingon Burrell swarm problem.
I don't think it fixes it. I think what it does is...
In a pipe dream it might. But
I think it opens up different styles because it brings bigger viability to the bigger ships.
Yeah. It also, to me, this is kind of almost a line. I think that bank cloaks are going to be so useful that it will almost create a first-generation cloak and a second-generation cloak mentality. It's like, are you running cloak? Oh, well, can you do bank cloaks?
Yeah.
And people might eventually stop kind of running regular cloaking ships if it's like, well, I mean, it's not as good as a bank cloak ship, so why even bother running it? Because funnily enough, back when I joined, there was a lot of that mentality of, if it's not as good as the best, why even bother using it? And I almost want to see that happen here, to the point where it kind of, puts the Klingon Burrells onto the back burner. I'm so tired of them. Someone actually brought a Klingon Burrell swarm to my home game, and they were like, well, there's a bird of prey and a what are they called? The bigger ones. They're basically bigger Burrells. In here, so it's not technically a Burrell swarm. I'm like, it still counts. How dare you bring this to my kitchen table?
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, great card. I think it's going to shake the meta up. At the very least, it's going to make the Romulans considerably better, which is what it was supposed to do.
Yeah. Which is important. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that our number ones are the same. Although maybe
Yeah,
not.
I'm guessing cloaked mines.
Yeah, cloaked mines. I think we spent enough time talking about them. They control the battlefield when you're not there. They do stuff, and okay. It's not that cloaked mines are impossible to overcome. Really, the best strategy is fly straight through them. Take your one shot, your 3 dice of damage that's unmodified. It might be 3 hits. It might be 3 blanks. It's 50-50 on the dice. You're going to take 1.5 damage on average. You put up with that, and you just live with it. You move on, and you have your battles somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way you overcome cloaked mines. But the threat that cloaked mines place just are too much to ignore. They are the best tool that has been proven for Romulans. I'm not going to say they're the absolute best tool. I think cloaking device again has that potential, but cloaked mines,
I feel like
that's where they're at. Plus, they do damage at range 1 to 2. That's ridiculous. It's 8 inches around the board, or for you metric people, it's something like. Now I got to actually be specific.
Yeah,
20. It's about 20 centimeters.
That's okay. A lot of us still know. If you're talking Canada, a lot of us still know basics of inches.
Yeah, I was.
The change wasn't actually that long ago, historically wise. They aren't really a range 1 to 2. It's a range 1. But if you count the token itself, then it's range 1 to 2. If you count the token in both sides, then it's a diameter of range 3. Essentially. But with me, it's they fight the battle for you. If someone is like, if you throw down enough of them, they're fighting the battle for you. But if you want, I think I should tell people how to kind of counter cloaked mines.
Sure.
It's to close the distance fast and scatter your ships. Because eventually the enemy might get put into a position where they can't meet the criteria to actually deploy their minefield. Because they can't deploy it within range 2 of an enemy ship. They might be forced to deploy it in the corner of the board where it can't do anything. So if you do end up fighting against cloaked mines, scatter your ships and close the distance. Surround the ship that has the cloaked mines, and they won't be able to place them. The last thing you want to do is bide your time and fly slowly, putting points into your Borg, whatever that card is. You know the one. Like, don't bide your time when you're fighting cloaked mines.
Right, and that's the best thing. You need to not give your opponent time to set up.
Yeah, and if your opponent's running cloaked mines and an interface generator, that brings an interesting conundrum, because you're going to have to kill that ship before it can lay those mines, which means you're going to have to be dealing with an interface generator.
Yeah.
But yeah, if the Tal Shiar pack really wanted to be a true Romulan fix, it should have come with 4 copies of the new cloaking device, and at least 2 copies of cloaked mines. That would have been the ultimate Romulan starter set. Hey, whoever's making an alliance, Josh Dirksen. I think that's who's making it, right?
Yes.
For the Romulan one, include some mines. Include more cloaked mines. That would actually probably break the game entirely, but
yeah, probably.
Maybe cloaked mines that have the caveat that they don't work on Jem'Hadar ships, because actually that might be thematic. No, wait, no, cloaked mines were literally made to kill Jem'Hadar ships. What am I talking about?
Yes, they were.
But if they have like a cloaked mine that's like, it does half damage to Dominion ships, full damage to other ships, no damage to Romulan ships, maybe you could stick it into the Alliance game, and it wouldn't completely destroy the Alliance game. And it would definitely guarantee more sales, because everyone likes cloaked mines, except for everyone who has to play against them.
Everyone loves cloaked mines. Everyone hates cloaked mines.
Yes, and I think that does it for our main topic. Is there anything we need to say in closing about Romulans?
Well, they're a lot better than they used to be.
Mm-hmm. They've been one of the weakest of the top three. Of the original three, I would say they're the weakest of the original three.
Yeah.
But they aren't the weakest of the main ones.
Nope.
They just didn't have... They had plenty of strategies, but they didn't have variety in how they could implement their strategies. Now, hopefully there's some variety.
Hopefully.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully in our 2 hours of madness, you gained something from all of this. That's always our hope.
All right. Well, we'll see you again sometime for another episode. Hopefully not 6 months down the line. We've all been through a lot.
Yeah.
And we're all glad to be back.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And hey, leave a comment. Let us know what faction you would like us to talk about next.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.